Daylight breaks over the ridge. The hounds strike. No crowds, no cameras, just a track and the hounds that bring the story to life. That's what this show's about. Dogs, dirt roads, early mornings, and the people who live it. This is Creekside Chronicles. Hounds, hunting, and heritage. I am your host, Heath Hyatt, houndsman, hunter, and a lifelong student of the outdoors. Here, we chase more than game. We chase knowledge about hounds, hunting, and living the outdoor life the right way. From bear country to back roads, this is where the hunt meets heart, and every story runs a different trail. So pull up your chair by the creek, leash up your best hound, and let's get after it together. Performance starts in the feed. Inukshuk's high-fat content fuels long runs and hard hunts, giving dogs the steady energy they need, while quality protein supports faster recovery after the work is done. That's why I trust Inukshuk dog food. Packed with energy and nutrition dogs need to go further, run harder, and recover stronger. If you want extreme performance, you can look them up at Inukshuk Professional Dog Food or CoreyNutrition.com. Welcome back, everyone. So glad to have you with us. Thank you for listening along. Today on Creekside Chronicles. I don't know if I mentioned this over the last couple podcasts. It's been so busy I don't remember. So I hope I'm not repeating myself. I did draw another tag in Wyoming. So we're going back to the great state of Wyoming to do a little elk hunting. I'm in a different unit this time. I won't be going down and hunting with Rick. I'll be in another area hunting with one of my good friends. So I'm excited. And I'm blessed to be able to draw 2 years in a row. And I hope the good Lord's watching over me and allows me to harvest another one, because I really like elk meat. It is way up on my favorite list. And I don't know how much is left downstairs in the freezer, but I know we've been going through it. The burger especially, because we're using it with everything. There's that. In November, we will be back out west, and hopefully we will have a great story to tell. I had to get ahead of things. Our training season's in. Everybody knew that if you listened to last week's podcast. And man, oh man, those two prep podcasts, and if you didn't go back and listen to last year's July 30th with Garrett Bailey, you really need to. Because I'm going to go over some things that's happened. That is exactly why we did the podcast. We wanted everybody to have this information. So, went out the first morning. I took the younger dogs. I did take one of my older dogs. And everything else was 3 and under. And man, do you have to have patience? Holy tamale. At one point in time, I had to tell myself, be careful what you wish for. Because sometimes it's going to give you a reason to step over the line. But it was, well, let's go back to let's start it out. First thing I do when I get up on the mountain is I pull up my weather app, and I'm looking at the humidity, I'm looking at the temperature, I'm looking at the dew point. Well, the temperature was 57 on top. Not bad. It was cool, nice. Like, to step out of your truck, you're like, oh man, what a great morning it's going to be. Not so fast. Old humidity said, let me help you out with that. The humidity was 87%. So 57 and 87. I'm pretty sure that's right. 57, 87. So we're at 144. Remember we talked about the 150? We're already at 144. So I let the dogs out, let them clean out, run around for a minute. And while I was getting so the night before, I literally made sure everything was synced together. And if you guys are using the Outdoor Maps Plus with Garmin, if you do the subscription, you got to make sure that your Alpha app is synced to your equipment, because if you have your subscription on the app and your Alpha XL pulls up, it'll say your subscription's run out. So I had to make sure that everything was synced, which I had my handheld and already, but I had not updated my app. So it was on me. Took me a few minutes. Laid all my collars out. Made sure everything hooked up to my Alpha XL. All my collars. Make sure they transferred. So everything was good there. It took a little bit of time for that app to sync, which was I was really not. It's not the best thing in the world, but it is what it is. So I got up on the mountain, turned all the collars on, let all the dogs out, let them clean out. I was getting all my stuff together, clearing my tracks, starting my new hunts. That's what I do when I get to where I'm going. One of the things I see posted a lot, and I'm not sure if people actually take an account for this or they're paying attention, but when you start a new track and then you go into your miles traveled, like for me, I'm rigging this time of year, the most part. I may have 20 or 30 miles on my dogs, but it's from rigging because the collar. It's not actually from how far the dog's traveled. Their race or their with walking or whatever is going to be extremely different. But anyway, I clear everything out so I can kind of get a gauge of what's going on. But when I was getting ready to load them up and put them on top of the truck, like their tongues are already like hanging out. They haven't done anything, nothing, and they're hanging out. And I'm like, man, humidity, 144. This is in my brain. I'm like, so I'm paying attention. So man, I just slow rolled around the mountain. Nothing. I get way around the mountain and start on the loop back. And the dog's open. And we talk about this. How many times have you scratched your head? You dump the dogs down and they just kind of, it's like they can smell it, but they can't move it. Again, humidity. We're going to talk about the humidity. So they made a couple of loops, and finally the older dog and the oldest and the youngest dog ended up working it across the road, getting out of the mess with the other dogs. I mean, and they were just pounding it. I mean, just back and forth in circles and back and forth and back and forth. So they start up the mountain. I have to go catch everybody up, and they'd already crossed two roads on me. So I get around to the other side, and I'm pulling up. I can see where something large, okay, went over the bank. Like the grass is pushed down. It's something decent size has been through there. So when he crosses the road, I put the young dogs behind him, and hooray to rail, here they go. They out of there screaming. So long story short, we run around the mountain and, had a good day. But I had to catch a couple dogs up because just the race alone, it was exhausting for them. And one of the young dogs actually crossed out and crossed back over the mountain in a different place. But anyway, I caught the dogs up. Everything was good. But as I get back to the truck, And now this is an hour and a half later. Okay, just trying to give you a little time frame here, and it's still before 9 o'clock. Like it's still before 9 o'clock. I get back to the truck and I'm I'm loading them up. I'm giving them water. Everybody knows I carry a little bit of water with me, and I'm waiting on the young dog who somehow got thrown out of this somewhere in the middle. Well, he comes up. I step over the mountain. He comes up to me, and I get him loaded. Well, when I load him up, I notice that Sassy is she's like laying down in the back of the truck. When I say laying down, I mean she's laying down. She'd spilt the water and was laying in it. I'm like, oh, so I pull her out. Back to that podcast last July. And it's cool. Like standing outside, it's cool. But now, just where I walk 200 yards to the break of the mountain and walk back, and like I've got a little sweat going on. So I put her up on top of the truck because it's cool. I'm going to be moving, get that airflow, right? And I get out to the main road and cut off the mountain. And I leave her up there for a good bit because I want her to catch that air. And I get to the hard top and I'm like, I'll put her up. So I put her in the front seat, turn the air on. Now, she hadn't been out. She's the one that I've really had to manage her weight. And we're going to talk about this twice. Like I've cut her back to a little bit of nothing because she's looks like a football, right? So I've cut her back and just noticing and paying attention to those early warnings of heat stress. Like it was very obvious. She wasn't acting like the other dogs, and it was extremely humid. So anyway, I took care of that. Well, one of the other guys that I was hunting with, the dog that went over the mountain, they ended up packing him up, and their dogs ended up popping out, running out, whatever, because I was doing my thing. They had to walk in and get one of his, and it wasn't good. And again, this is 9 o'clock in the morning, by 9:30 by then, and hot and humid. They walk in like she's just laid down. So we walk through a few of those steps, dig some of the shrub, dig some of the ground, get the leaves up. The ground's cool. Let her lay in the cool stuff. Do not drench her in water. The normal things. And I think they ended up carrying her out, put her in the seat, turned the air conditioning on, got her home, put a fan on her, and they're still monitoring the situation. That was a bad case. Knowing your dogs, knowing those early signs, and when you turn them loose, in fact, I had this conversation coming home. My goal, and I said it last week, is just to take the dogs out and road them. Like I just need to knock a little bit of the edge off of them. And you think about this, okay? If I'm roading my dogs and I get their exercise in, I'm not hunting. Okay, yes, that's a fact. But I can control what's going on in the road. I can't control what takes place when they're in the woods. And they're dogs. They're going to run until they can't run no more. That's what they're bred to do. I think for the next couple of days, I'm going to back up and punt. And I'm really just going to get out early, road my dogs. And I know that roading them 3 or 4 miles is 3 miles for a dog is like 1 mile to us. Okay. If you're looking at the exercise part of it, 3 miles to them is 1 to us. Well, we're not after Christmas dinner, we're not going to go out and run a mile, right? And we got to think about that with the dogs. Like 3 to 1, I'm going to take my dogs out. I'm probably going to do 3 easy miles, which is 1, and I'll put them up. And it's also going to help with their pads. I am sacrificing the hunt per se, but I'm going to tell you, I was driving down the road this morning, and when I loaded the dogs up, just the excitement for them, Like they were running around the yard. They were doing their normal thing when hunting season comes in. And man, when that tailgate dropped, they were on the tailgate before I could get the doors to the dog box open. So why I'm saying this is it is just as fun to be out with the dogs. Yes, I want to catch game. That's the ultimate goal, is to catch game. But I also just enjoy being out with the dogs. Yes, I'm going to be roading them. I'm going to be exercising them. I'm preparing. Like, we're training this athlete. We're preparing for the game, right? We just don't go out and start the game. We got to prepare. We got to do two-a-days if you're playing football, right? You're doing two-a-days. You're practicing. And I need to do more of that. I have more control over that. Yes, if I'm roading my dogs and they strike, I'm going to let them go. But I'm going to monitor it as best I can. Just like today, I thought I was doing a pretty good job of it. And, one got a little stressed. Not bad. I mean, we're recovered. We're fine now, but one got a little stressed. But as I started around the mountain, let's talk about some training issues. Oh, I got one dog that is extremely mouthy, and I don't like it. I don't care for it. I don't like it. And I have got to figure her out. She has the ability to be one of my best strike dogs. And when we talk about patience, she's the one that's going to test them because she don't have a whole lot of quit in her. That's the things we like, right? Like, I don't want you to quit. I want you to stay after it. She has that. Hard-headedness, some of the qualities that make a really good dog, she has those. And you can look at them for the negative or the positive, but this is what I'm looking for. I don't want a dog to quit until I pull them off. She's that dog. She is extremely quick to strike. But she's striking on stuff I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. And I don't think she has a better nose than the older dog that I had with me today. In fact, he's the one that lined his stuff out and got it straightened out. It was kind of funny. I was sitting there, and again, patience. If you pay for patience, the Lord's going to give you something to test your patience. I promise you. So I was sitting there, and all the young dogs are, like I said, they're all over the place. They're making circles and going back where they started and coming back and circles and back. And he crossed the road out in front of me, and I just kind of, like chuckled under my breath. I'm like, well, that's what he's supposed to be doing, and he's doing it amidst all this mess. That's what he's supposed to be doing. Do I want those other dogs doing that? Yes, but I understand they don't have the experience that he has. In fact, the Gyp that I'm talking about that's mouthy is probably the least experienced dog, other than the young dog that went with him, that I have in the pack today. Just the lack of hunting, not on my part, but the lack of hunting. And it's been a work in progress with her. Like last year, she had, when I purchased her and started hunting her, noticed something wasn't right. I think we talked about this. I noticed something wasn't right with her. You'd run her hard one day, you'd lay her up for 3. You could run her for 2 days, and if you had a hard race, you had to lay her up for 3 or 4. And then Garrett and I we finally tested her, and she popped hot for anaplasmosis and Lyme's. Got that straightened out. That took the whole training season pretty much away from me. And then I took her, she was in heat. Yeah, I mean, just like one thing right after another. I did get to hunt her in December. She did some good jobs in December, but she also had some faux pas. She messed some stuff up. And when I took her up north, she had another faux pas. I can't put my finger on it yet. Like, I just can't put my finger on it yet, but I'm working on it. There's with impatience. I'm slowly trying to figure it out without messing things up. And I know that, my old dog, the dog that I had with me today, you It's so funny how things happen, and then you just kind of go back and you're replaying things in your head. Like we talked, me and Bob was talking. Like you're looking at stuff 20 years ago and trying to still figure it out. But like I know that my oldest dogs would run the hair off a fox, and then the dog that I had with me today was trained by them, so he's got a little fox problem too. And we don't run across them that often, but he's got a fox problem, and I'm working on that. I don't like it. It's just having the right opportunity at the right time. And I think she's the same way. I think she's picked up some bad habits that I wasn't there when it happened. I wasn't the one that raised her. So I'm having to figure this stuff out as we go without like correcting the wrong thing. And I'm trying to be patient with that. Like I don't like the mouthiness, which is on the truck. Like she'll strike 5 times and my dogs won't say a word. All right. What do you do? I'm asking you. Do you just start correcting that behavior? I think last year when she started this, I was putting her down by herself to figure out what it was because I didn't want my whole pack running whatever it was. And if she come out on a bear, then I would ask myself this question, and I did this morning while I was riding around the mountain, drinking my coffee, listening to the radio. I was like, all right, she pops out on a bear one time, is it luck? If she pops out on a bear 2 or 3 times, there's a little bit more consistency there. And that's what I'm looking for. If she pops out on a bear one time, I'll give her the benefit of the doubt on that one. Okay, well, you earned it. We'll go from there. But I've got to see that. And if she's going to open with my other dogs not saying anything, she's going to have to be consistent at doing it, not just a fluke. It can't be a one-time thing. But that's me, and that's kind of how my brain thinks. Like, I'll give her that opportunity. So as this week and next week comes up, next week my hunting's kind of limited because of trainings and obligations. We talk about that stuff. We get freaking 60 days to hunt, but man, if work don't get in the way, gets in the way. So I'm going to give her a couple opportunities, and I'm just going to put her down on when she's opening like that. I mean, she struck hard one time today, like hard, super hard, and I'm like, but I just didn't trust it, so I drove on. I'm going to give her some opportunities to show me what she's doing, and hopefully I can catch it crossing the road or see what it is and make adjustments. If she's right, I'll pack her up. If she's wrong, we'll correct and pay attention and correct and pay attention and correct until we solve that issue. So she's got a lot of potential. And my young dog that I'm talking about, I'll just be straight up. I do not like him. Don't like him. He gets on my nerves. And when I say he gets on my nerves, he gets on my nerves. That dog run all over the side of that mountain today with them dogs and somehow got left out and just circled up. I don't, whatever happened. But when he topped the mountain coming to me, I was hollering for him, and he was 438 yards off the mountain. And he popped up and he come to me. He wasn't even tired. And I'm like, so you got some running gear under you. You're built for this. But he tests my patience. His kennel manners they're not horrible, but they're not the best. I got to stay on him sometimes, and I don't really like doing that. This morning in the box, when I put the dogs on top of the box, I had him underneath in the box, and he whimpered and whined and whimpered and whined. And of course, I corrected, and it stopped. It's just little things like that's why he gets on my nerves. It's the little things, it's not a big thing. But I like his running gear. I like his enthusiasm. And if I can get him pointed in the right direction and get him hooked up like right, then he could. I'm not saying he will be, but he could be something very special. Time will only tell. Like I said, he's older. He's the older dog that got started late just because of his age and having the other young dogs last year. So he didn't have a whole lot. I mean, he's been out twice last year. He's been out 3 times this year. Today makes the 4th time. Dog's been out 6 times in his life. He's got good feet, good bone structure. He's got good roll off his his hind quarters. He's got the package. Now, if he can put it together, then we'll have a conversation here maybe by the end of the year. I don't know if he will, and I don't know if he won't. But if he does, then the little stuff won't be as bearing on my dislikes. And isn't that funny? Me and Trey was talking about this the other day. It's the dogs that usually make the best dogs that have the quirks that you can't stand the most, or they have something that's you just don't that's something that stands out that could be an issue, or like I said, you just don't like the way they operate. And then the better they get, the less you look at that stuff, and it's like, okay, I can overlook that. Okay, I can overlook that. I did that with Ring a lot. And finally, he was catching so much game that I was just like, well, this is who he is. This is what I'm dealing with, right? Anyway, just some food for thought. But today, first day, humidity was horrible. You stand outside your truck and you're thinking, oh man, this is an awesome day. Don't take it for granted. You got to check that humidity every day. 87% is way up there. 57 degrees, put us at 144. Really pay attention. When I left today, I actually checked after I was leaving, and the temperature had come up to 71, and the humidity had dropped to 75. So 71 to 75. So we were at 146 is where we were at, 147. 146, 147, whatever it adds up. So we were actually gaining even though the humidity was dropping, but the temperature was coming up. And we're within that 5-point range of 150. And for dogs that's out of shape, we talked about it last week on the podcast, when you throw them out on a hard run right out of the gate, a lot of times it ends up just like the one dog. I'm not going to be able to hunt her the rest of the week. I'm just not going to be able to. So I did exactly what I'm telling you guys not to do. Don't do it. Take it easy. I'm going to go back to rode my dogs through 3 miles, 4 miles, building that up. And then by the end of 2 days, they last 2 weeks, we be in the game catching game. That's what it's all about. That's going to be a wrap for this week's episode of Creekside Chronicles. We appreciate you spending your time with us, whether you're in the truck, in the woods, or sitting by the creek just listening along. Thank you for walking this trail with us. And we got to say thank you to W Supply for hosting the podcast and supporting everything we do. Be sure to check them out and go to wsupply.com for all your hound hunting needs. Until next time, keep your dogs fed right, those leads tight, boots muddy, and we'll see you at the tree.
Tailgate drops before the light, coolers packed and the rig sitting right, tracking collars charged, beeping green, boots in the bed and the rifle's clean. Dog box rattling, engines hum, we're chasing bear till the day is done. Old Ring barking like he knows what's near, nose to the wind, tail full of cheer. From the Virginia mountains to the Carolina clay, we're burning fuel and miles each day. Every turn's another tale, through mountain mist and paper trails. We see the sunset red in Tennessee, rise through the fog in old WV. North Carolina's pines echo loud with the chasing bears. Rest stops few, the roads are long, but the fire in our hearts still burns strong. Wisconsin mornings cutting crisp and clear, Canada's wildwoods drawing near. Still got stays, we ain't run, but that hound dog fever won't let us quit. We see the sun set red in Tennessee, rise through the fog in old WV. North Carolina's pines echo loud with the cry of a hard-run hound. New York frost mains, deep snow, Vermont valleys where the black bears go. Truck keeps rolling, wheels don't care. We're chasing daylight, chasing bears. Gas station coffee, Alpha XL on the dash. Another back road, another bear track. Friends made fast and stories told slow. Under stars where only hunters go. We see the sunrise gold in Canadian air, and it sets on a trail down in Appalachia. Packing steel and leather, grit and care. We're built for the road and chasing bears. So load the dogs and slam the gate. There's a trail ahead, we won't be late. From dawn to dusk, we're always there. Chasing daylight, chasing them bears.